Here's a little experiment everyone can partake in. Ask a friend, foe, loved one, anyone, what they use to shop mostly with in this last holiday season. And I bet you 95% of them will tell you Amazon with a chuckle. Everybody says it. Everybody laughs about how they just sat back home on their computer with their iPad in their lap and did all their Christmas shopping without even leaving their house. Yet what does that really take? What kind of toll does that take on the public and on the civilization as a whole? So I say we bring back the World's Fair and bring down the Amazon. Not the nature Amazon, but the other. And this is the chart of the money that they make just going up and up and up, and it's not even including Q4 of 2019, which I think was one of the biggest in history. Remember, that number 72.38 is in billions per quarter. These are all dollars that used to be spent in places like this, all different shops benefiting, people working all different kinds of crafts, artists being able to get galleries, clothes makers being able to get fashion designing spots in top-notch places, watchmakers, craft makers, electronic stores, video game stores, computer stores, everything used to all exist in one place and people used to go. It used to be an event that people would spend their Friday nights or really any night kind of going to. People of all ages, kids used to love it. I used to hang out at the mall a long time ago and it's still kind of there, but it's pretty more or less abandoned. And the gallery where I'm at is in a place that just saw record low numbers again, I believe, this holiday season because people just do not go out. The Amazon effect is lethal, and it's taking its toll on a lot more than just local businesses. You know, I'm going to get into some of the practices and some of the things that they are, I guess, guilty of. But just remember some of these experiences people used to have going to the mall. It was part of the culture, and I'm not really like wanting commercialism and materialism because I don't think that everybody needs a ton of stuff. But when we stop going out and doing things and we just remain in the comfort of our house, we miss out on those daily experiences of meeting people, interacting with people, having an experience, finding something you didn't see online, finding something that Google and their bots didn't guide you to. Like, there was a lot more emphasis back in the day on experiencing things, getting out there, testing out some products, not just ordering it and sending it back ad nauseum because it doesn't fit or because you don't like it. You would get what you wanted and that's it. And a lot has suffered. A lot of these places have gone under, and some have gone under just for other purposes, other reasons, town-wise and whatever. But many nowadays are getting crushed by Amazon. So many people are getting crushed by Amazon and the dirty tricks that they play and the benefits that they get monetarily, and they just continue to steamroll industry after industry into this beast that just almost just needs to be fought against. And you know, I'm just a little tiny person screaming up against the giant, but there's a lot at stake here, and the only thing we really can do is hope for a cultural change, hope for a change where people just feel the need to go into places again and to like experience things in reality. And you know, maybe stores need to step it up and offer a little more, but everybody kind of needs to remember what we're going to miss if we live in a world where there's just Amazon warehouses everywhere and people are just kind of like certain companies are benefiting. The way that they're doing it, they used to benefit kind of the small businesses, so it was a nice gradual little change, but now they're kind of changing algorithms and they're building their own products, so they're crushing the industries and the small people they used to help by making their own product now, becoming just a giant Walmart-esque but worse monster. It's just, remember the art that used to be around these things. Every holiday there would be a fun event. People would just join in. There would be, these parking lots would look very well kept. There'd be restaurants there, escalators that worked, you know, there'd be different technologies, new ads, new different things. It was very nice. It was a good thing you could go to and just really kind of experience things. You never know who you'd find. You know, when I was younger, I liked to look at girls at the mall. Like, you know, it was a blast. We caused trouble there when we were a little bit older, but never anything bad. But, you know, it was so much fun. People are missing out on that entirely. They're missing out on the woods. but they're also missing out on just kind of different experiences like this. And Amazon really has the power to take its toll in many ways, so many ways. The spectrum is nuts. And loneliness, people are getting lonely. Amazon threatened to fire employees who spoke out against its environmental policies. It's bad for both sides. This guy, the main company, says they could break up the main people. They should break up. They know it's a monopoly. And I recommend you reading some of these selections, because they really tell a lot about different things. Like, just a lot of scams, a lot of tax breaks, a lot of government support in different ways that happened a long time ago in the previous administration. They formed its roots, and the roots took hold, and they're involved with the CIA. Things that just, they're promoting laziness like crazy. They're treating their employees terribly. Tax-paying dollars are paying for this. We're actually paying. Not only do they get deals from the postal services and different things that we don't get, small businesses don't get, so much. It's absolutely appalling. In every country, they're just wreaking havoc upon the population and the culture. And they're going to make it streamlined. That's the point. This bland, boring socialism/communism-esque reality that they've been trying to push on us, trying to make us just useless slobs that just buy and don't do anything at home and play games and pay money into Candy Crush and watch these useless movies that they're pumping out. They wanted this so much. The only way we can resist it is to really resist it. I recommend everybody, if they want to buy something, if you cannot buy it in a local place, then maybe use Amazon. But everything that you can buy locally surrounding you, I recommend everyone do it, because there is so many people that are affected by this, and you don't want everybody working for Amazon. Nobody does. Social responsibility. Check this out. Amazon is strongly committed to conducting our business in a lawful and ethical manner, including engaging with suppliers who respect human rights, provide safe and inclusive workplaces, and promote a sustainable future. Yeah. The guy does not do very much, not nearly what a quazillionaire, trillionaire should be doing. It is actually pathetic. And he's no role model. That you can check that out in his private life. I won't get into those stories. But really, it's just taking its toll. And this is from an employee that had some complaints as he left, which I found pretty interesting. Another place that promises you the world and then gives you very little in return. They don't want people to unionize. They do a lot to silence employees about speaking the truth. But look at this, right at the bottom of Amazon.com. Look at all the industries they are conquering. Amazon Music, books. That's a terrible part. Photos, Euro, Wi-Fi, fabrics, Goodreads, Shopbop, Amazon Fresh, food, all these things. What they did to Whole Foods is actually very sad, and it's not what it used to be. Everybody knows that. And they're just crushing so many different things that used to have unique abilities, and people used to get the chance of getting hired by a publisher. Publishers used to make a lot of money, musicians, all of these things, and they're not all Amazon's fault. That's definitely clear. But all these places used to be getting all kinds of rent. Now the rent just goes up and up and up as less and less companies or anyone can afford to get the rent, and less people are shopping. So it's just an endless battle that just doesn't end up working for anyone really, except Amazon. And I even wouldn't be surprised if they hire some or create some bogus companies online that give horror stories to people, so that everyone's like, that's it, I'll never trust any other company again but Amazon. There's a lot of methods they can employ, and what I recommend is that we all go back to this type of mentality. The World's Fair. They were celebrations that were worldwide, and they were about the most upcoming and amazing artistic creations, architectural structures, creative designs, things that took amazing amounts of human effort. It was all about pushing yourself to the limit year after year. Each place would try to outdo the last with a new technology that was just phenomenal, and everybody embraced it. People would remember it for years and years, take their families to it, factor in vacations around it, do everything. It was better than the Olympics in some way. It was almost the creative Olympics, the marketing Olympics, the technology Olympics, science Olympics, cultural Olympics of the world, and it really showcased the fair and amazing things of the world. And a lot of these structures still remain today. These malls aren't going to, but these structures did, and people put the time in to make structures that would last because the World's Fair meant something to them. It was a thing of pride for everybody that participated in it, and they would spend the years making stuff and preparing for it, and things took a lot of time. They had a lot of meaning. They were about embracing new views of the world, discovering new, illustrating science supposedly in a new way. The Unisphere, which they explode in Men in Black because it's pretty inaccurate, I bet. They can't draw a plane. They can't easily draw a map of this universe that we live in. There's no way. It's something amazing. Sphere's nice and easy though to represent. Oh, like the biosphere, another kind of innovative thing brought on by World's Fairs and helmed by all these things. All these people were encouraged around the world to, oh, I want to do something that's World's Fair worthy. And they have Burning Man nowadays, which is pretty cool, but then that whole place disappears, and that's got something to it. I like the temporal aspect of that. But these permanent structures, this is what these things like the pyramids, that might have been from World's Fair like 8,000 BC or maybe 20,000 BC. Who knows? But it's kind of cool to make stone structures and make things that last and put your mark on this world and invite people from all over the world to see it and do amazing things. And there are so many pictures of the World's Fairs from the past. St. Louis I'll show a lot of here, some of Chicago, some of New York, from all over pretty much I'm showing now, and I'll go deeper into the World's Fairs and my thought on them in other videos. But they did some amazing things, and it really was like people from all over the world were united to make the whole thing as amazing of an experience as they could for each and every visitor of every past, every culture. They weren't designing a website that everybody would like. They were making things, showing how they made it. People were fascinated by how they made these new innovations, these cars, these things that would just revolutionize the world. Like, why aren't we having flying packs now? I want to see some guy testing out a rocket pack and like fly up to a building and be like, yeah, or like a magnetic resonance things, or new technology and electricity that you see at certain conventions like the Nikola Tesla convention and a bunch of different conventions around the world that are showcasing cool experiments, but never as a whole like this used to be. This used to demand like the top-notch people. Not these, like, whether these were created hundreds of years ago and then repurposed and redone and brought to these World's Fairs, or if they were the plaster, which I don't believe for many of these. I think they made some amazing things and destroyed them, and I'm not sure who was here before or what was here before, but I hope we get to the bottom of that with some real proof, because we need to find out if these buildings were here a long time ago in America before these World's Fairs, or if they were just created for these World Fairs and are just flimsy structures. They sure don't look flimsy to me. To me they look like Roman Piranesi-esque masterworks that left over from some Romanesque civilization that did some amazing things here that have been hidden from us. That's what I kind of want to believe, because that's what a lot of this leads towards, just an America that I have no idea about, and I hope we develop some proof. But we'll leave that for another video, because those things look pretty amazing. They showed the frames. They have some drawings of it, and you never know. Like, it's whoever it is, they did a great job, whatever time they created this in. And this is just, in America, things that look like they're absolutely ancient. And people were, this is what the place was. This is what the world was. Like, everybody was embracing this architecture, these fantastic sculptures, this world, this realm that just leads to something beyond what we are here, beyond our ego, beyond this Instagram shots. Like, that lady didn't care. Like, the ego has got to go, and all these we need to become friends with everyone again and embrace like the reality of the world out there, breathe in the air, see what we can create now that we have all this knowledge at our fingertips. And there are a lot of amazing people doing incredible art out there, and amazing creations of all different kinds. And if we were to gather them all and create a new World's Fair that really took like the top-notch people from all over the world, maybe we could do this. Maybe that would be one way to prove that the top construction people end up trying to make something like this again. Like, it would be incredible to have the world and all different companies invest and unite in creating a new World's Fair, just like reminiscent of these times. If they could do it back then, we should be able to do it now. Just like if they went to the moon 60 years ago, we should be going to the moon weekly. But we're not. So I say we put it to the test. This guy made this out of fruit. I love that. Just different fun things that people can take their families to. Everybody feels safe. Everybody's comfortable. At night, people can let loose. It formed like a world that was very, very friendly, very beautiful, very magical, very powerful. Like, I would love to stand in that sunken garden and go in this canal and, like, have some fun, and everyone keeps everything clean. Everything's very nice. We could do a great job today if we were to realize what was important again, and we could create some amazing things for our children to grow up with and to really inspire their imaginations and their creative will. And we've got to get off of that. We can't let people control how we do things. We have to try and separate from the way that things are guiding us towards, that these pop media people and these Amazons are guiding us towards, this laziness, this uselessness, and we have to do work beyond that and plow through it, basically, and remember what's important, focus on what's important, and really value it. And there's a lot of aspects of piecing it together which are important, and you guys all have some, and I encourage everybody to share in the comments what they think about all this stuff, what you think about Amazon and about bringing back the World's Fair, and incorporating zoos, new animals. We could have different causes, raising money for them. Like, it would be a wonderful thing. And rather than just spend it on sports and triumph and battle and that, which is a great thing too, but this would be way more unifying, and all cultures being represented, showing their best to the world. Could publish it through every single part of the world. People would actually watch it again. Zero political talk. Everyone just agrees to be normal and beautiful. I love this guy, just proud of his amazing invention, which is an idea that I actually had at one point, of just taking the sun's light with a bunch of different lenses and seeing how much heat and force and power you can get from it. Nobody wants to live in an abandoned world that just looks empty and void of life, culture, art, and everything. So we have to start making the right decisions and start putting money back into the people that need it, and start making businesses form again and capable of growing in an environment that people don't always go to Amazon for everything. They go back into the world and they get stuff from their local people and friends. Speaking of friends, this artwork of Dr. Theophilus taking on the giant is from a cartoon comic idea that me and a friend Chinny from Aruba, a fellow free and beautiful thinker, and my wife have been creating together. And it's one idea, if we had funding, we could make an amazing series with these beautiful ideas, these beautiful visions, these amazing things. There's people all over the world I know firsthand that are creative, that need more money put in towards them, and instead of people buying just generic products, people ripping off other creative people that just have the business sense. People need to go to the artists for the source. And this is my website. I've had it for about 15 years or more. I used to sell art on the streets in Newbury Street. I still do. I sold art on the side of the road many times in stores and galleries. It's not easy. It used to be a lot better before Amazon, but things have changed, and the way people buy things changes, and all these things. And I offer so much beautiful intentions. Me and my wife create so many beautiful visions, our apps, so many different pioneering kind of aspects of the art world and beauty and making the world better. Everything we do is designed to make the world a better, more happier place. And that's not the intentions of people like Bezos. Quite the opposite, exactly. And so I know just everyone needs to be a little conscious of where they spend things. I'm not trying to say everyone buy from me, but there's millions of artists out there like me who need your support as well. And focus on, go right to the source and help people out that really need it, and people that are doing beautiful things, and then the world will change for the better, guaranteed. Bless you all. Have a great year. It's going to be incredible. Much more piecing it together to come.